Hello and welcome. Today we are talking about a first of its kind literature festival. Now we all love literature festivals, we love attending them, but this is a green literature festival and it's the brainchild of Mr. Benedict who is with us today. He is the editor of Sustainability Next, India's first e-magazine that focuses on business of sustainability, and he is also the founder and CEO of Bangalore Business Literature Festival. So, sir, we would like to know from you, what was the idea behind Green Literature Festival?
Thanks for having me. Yeah. So it evolved over a period of time. Okay. So in Sustainability Next, we've been doing reviews of books extensively of environmental and green books. And we get lots of books from publishers and authors for review. And I realized that most of these books are not either reviewed or marketed outside. And I also realized that in the last 5 years, particularly, the the quality and quantity of environmental or green books has really gone up rather significantly. And they need a platform to market. So this is a platform we thought we could offer the authors. Also, you may know that the publishing industry is not doing that well. So publishers are not spending money on marketing of books. So where do the authors go for marketing their books? So we needed to create a festival, a platform, so that we get the authors and the readers on a common platform. So each can discover each other, and then marketing happens.
So considering that there have been a lot of talks on climate issues in the recent years, so how do you think the Literature Festival, Green Literature Festival, is going to bring about a change, and it's going to stir more conversations around this?
Yeah. See, essentially, the ecosystem needs much more deeper and engaged engaged conversation around climate change issues. So where do they go for that? Where are the forums for conversations? Right? And it's largely social media where conversations happen, and it doesn't happen that engagingly or in a healthy way on the social media, right? We need to create spaces for conversations. And also, I'm happy to say that our tagline is when we learn more, we do more. Right? So we want to create a space where people of all streams, starting from students, entrepreneurs, executives, they all get to learn more, have access to more literature, better literature, so that they could influence policy, they could put pressure on the decision makers. So largely the big issue of climate change is that there's more talk and less of action. So why is there less of action? Because there's not much pressure from the civil society.
So talking about your festival, this is your very first edition in the virtual format, and you have a good list of prominent speakers. So what attracted them to the festival, and how did you manage to put together such a strong list of speakers?
So there's a novelty factor when it is new, and also that no one is doing it. And there are many authors who have written books in the recent past who like a platform to talk about their books. And it's a natural fit, I would say.
So what cities are you planning to, hold it across?
Okay, so that's a idea and plan in progress. So we would love to do a hybrid version, because now everybody's got used to the online version, and it has great reach. But at the same time, there is novelty of a physical event as well. We would like to have in as many cities as possible, particularly where there's a very engaged and active civil society. So especially say Bombay or Goa, Kerala.
Right.
So we would like to go there, and and also we'd like to go to places where there are issues, so that we could engage with the local authors and the local intelligentsia or the writers, and we bring the society there together, and so that we encourage conversations end of the day.
So if we look at your list of speakers, we see a lot of corporates, and there are writers also, but there are people with corporate backgrounds. So any specific reason why is that so?
See, we have broken up this fest into 3 segments. Right. So day 1 is on business, day 2 on general green literature, and the 3rd on the children literature. So obviously, when you have green business, you need to have corporates, people from the corporate sector. Otherwise, the overall it's quite diverse. The authors and are quite from diverse backgrounds.
So I have attended one of your sessions on spies, superheroes and satire, new wave of eco-comics that was held in October. And you had one more session called Writings on Elephants for Young Readers. So in a way, you are promoting a lot of writings on environment. And I see that a great boost for writers in India. So do you think this particular festival and this kind of an initiative will also encourage writing on environmentalism in India, especially from young writers?
Obviously, that's one of the focus. When you create a space for conversation, so that excites the young readers to also get into writing.
Right.
That's the reason we have one day for children, for example. So we want to excite them to get into writing.
So lastly, I would like to ask you, this is such a unique idea, and it was much needed. In fact, this should have been done a few years ago, because there have been so much talks about environmentalism and youngsters are actively participating in it. So what kind of support are you seeing? Is there excitement around this kind of a platform where people can meet and actively discuss literature as well as, important issues, pressing issues?
Yes, so I'm quite excited by the kind of encouragement we have received for this festival all over, and I'm quite confident that we would get much more support going forward, and we are quite confident that it will expand both in reach and in depth, that it would evolve into a very meaningful festival.
All right. On that note, that will be it, sir. And thank you so much for your time. We look forward to attending the festival.
Yeah, thank you so much.